All right, I'm Parker Stanfield. I'm here with my friend Connor. I'm going to explain to him the nutrition contents of this bag of baked Lay's right here. So I'm going to start it off with serving size right here. Basically what this is it's just the kind of, it's like the expected, like what you would usually eat in one sitting.
Okay.
There's not really a set requirement. There's no like legal boundaries of what you can say. It's just like what they think you would eat in one sitting. And then it also says about 6 servings per container, so that just mean that you have
6 portions.
6 times 17. Obviously, like, these are guidelines, you can use as many as you want. But that's what the rest of the numbers down here are based off of that serving size. So in 17 chips, it says it's gonna have 120 calories.
Okay.
So you're gonna aim for about 2,000 in a day. That's kind of like what most people say, but that varies. If you're trying to like cut weight, then you want your caloric intake to be less than what you're burning. That's how you like lose fat. So that's why it kind of varies, but 2,000 is the general number. 100 calories in a serving is considered moderate. So I would say like this is pretty much a moderate number of calories. Anything that has like 400 calories is considered high calorie. So next up here, all of these numbers are by daily value percent. So what that means is it's the percentage of what you should aim to have in a day. So 5% or less of that daily value is considered low. 20% or more is considered high. So first off, we've got 4% daily value in total fat. It means it's low in your daily value of fats. But down here underneath, it has saturated fat, trans fat, polyunsaturated fat, and monounsaturated fat, and then it has the amounts for each one. Mm-hmm. So those fats they're not good for you. You want to try and avoid a lot of these fats, and this is pretty low in those, so you'd be fine eating these. But it's recommended that you try to get as little of these as possible. You want to be under the 100% daily value eating these in a day. Next up is cholesterol, which has 0% actually. So that's fine. Cholesterol helps like with bile production, so it helps with your digestion. It produces vitamin D. But a lot of foods that are high in cholesterol are also high in saturated fat. So you generally want to avoid very high cholesterol foods, especially if you're trying to like be on a diet and lose weight. Sodium. So sodium is another one of those things that you want to get less of. Just like those saturated fats, it's recommended that you keep as little of this in your diet. This one has 7% daily value in it. Okay. So it has a decent amount, but if you're just piling on the sodium, then you might want to cut some of that out. Mm-hmm. If you're just having a sitting of this, then you'll be fine. Okay. Let's see here. Your dietary fiber is one thing that they try to say you need a lot of. So dietary fiber, vitamin D, calcium, iron, potassium, proteins. They say that you should aim for 100% of your daily value in eating these in a day. And then down here it says vitamin D 0%, calcium 0%, iron 0%, and potassium 4%. So overall, this isn't a particularly healthy or unhealthy food. Mm-hmm. You're fine eating these all the time. Mm-hmm. It's mostly just gonna help your caloric intake. Mm-hmm. It's not gonna do a whole lot to hurt or help you in the long run. Yeah. But they recommend that you go for 100% of your daily value in these things: the vitamin D, calcium, iron, potassium. Mm-hmm. And that's basically everything in here. Cool. So with that information being said, I also have this bag of Takis here, and we're just gonna kind of quickly run through these and see So my first question for you is, you see that that sodium is at 18% of your daily value. Mm-hmm. So I mean, would you say that this is something that you should be eating regularly if you're trying to watch your weight?
No, it's definitely on the higher side. You were saying earlier that if it's above 20%, then it is considered high. Mm-hmm. So this is pretty close to that point. And then just from a snack, that's a lot of sodium to be getting.
Right, exactly. And I mean, like I was saying earlier, foods that are high in sodium are also going to be high in saturated fats, which you can see right there. This one has 13% daily value of saturated fat. Mm-hmm. So, and this has, what's the serving size here? About 12 pieces, and you've got 4 in this. So if you eat this entire bag, all 4 servings, I mean, That's
50%
a lot of
fat.
saturated fat, right? So, my next question is going to be: would you consider this to be particularly high in carbohydrates? It has 6% right here.
No, that's on the lower side for sure. So,
right, and then the total fat. Total fat is 10%. Do you think that is something that you should be making sure to eat a lot of so that you can get your daily value needed for total fat?
Total fat is something that it isn't really healthy for you, so it's not near as important to get it's cutting out fat if you're trying to lose weight is definitely the most important thing. It kind of depends what your diet you're looking for, but if you're trying to lose weight, definitely not.
Right. All right. Well, I guess the last thing I have is if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yeah. So with this first snack right
Of
here,
course.
this is the baked option.
Mm-hmm.
So it says 65% less fat. Is most snacks when they're baked just less fat?
Yeah, it really just comes down to the process of making it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like regular chips are like deep fried, bathed in oil, and that's going to add a lot more fat into it. So that's kind of the advantage of the baked. Another thing that's here is that I didn't mention earlier is the added sugars. This is going to be a little bit lower too because added sugars are so they come into play during like the processing of the food. Sorry, 1 second. Recording a video, 1 sec. So as I was saying, the added sugars, it's also recommended that you get those. You want to have as little of the added sugars out of your diet. Those just come into play later. So something that's baked, it's not as processed. So this is going to have less of the added sugars too.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, cool. It's good to learn about the snack.
Of course. Thank you for your time, Connor.
Of course.
I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right.